Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about working out. I'm going to bang out a set of squats here. And one of the things I want you guys to know is when I work out, I always wear my carry piece the way I normally carry, right? So I normally carry a Glock 43 at the 5 o'clock position, regardless whether I'm doing sit-ups, bent over rows, or whatever. I keep the gun on me because this is where you figure out if the gun's going to work for you or not, right? Because if you're having a problem working out with the gun, the gun's going to get in the way when you're doing other things as well. So let me bang out a quick set. Two plates, pretty easy. Let me pause the camera to catch my breath, and we'll talk a little bit. You know what? Let me bang out a few more reps. I'm gonna hit the 275 now. I'm 50 years old. Back in the day, that used to be warm-up weight for me on the way up to 4 plates. Let me pause the camera, catch my breath, and we'll talk about a good workout routine. All right, so first, let me tell you guys the secret to squatting. And the squat is the king of all exercises. It doesn't just work your legs, works your whole body. And your legs are basically the engine of your body. Anything you do, it's all from down here. If you're gonna throw a punch, this is the driving muscle, okay? Even when I swing the sword. You guys have seen videos where I'm sword fighting. If I'm sword fighting, all the power comes from the leg as I'm swinging. Okay, so this is the main engine of the body down here. Okay, so it's also the main calorie burner. Okay, so if you wanna, if you're trying to lose weight, squats are the way to do it. Worst thing I see when people go to the gym, they get on a treadmill and they walk for an hour. Walk for 5 hours, makes no difference. In order to change the body, you have to force it to change. You have to force it to change, okay? So I'm banging out here 275 at 50 years old, okay? So if I can do it at 50 years old, you young kids out there should be freaking banging out twice this weight, or at least 350, okay? So here's the thing. The secret to all your power exercises is 90-degree angles, okay? So let's say if I'm benching, I want a 90-degree angle over here when I'm benching, right? Or if I'm doing shoulder presses, 90-degree angles. This way, it takes the stress off the joints. So same deal when I'm squatting, right? Hold the weight like this, right? I want not leaning forward because I don't want the weight going into my back. I want it going down my spine into my hips. So basically, I'm going to spread my legs wide enough, right? So that my hips can go between my knees. Now, depending on the width of your hips, right, that's going to determine the width of your stance, okay? So when you go down, right, you go down to a 90-degree angle over here, which is normally the bottom of your leg parallel to the ground. So same thing here. When I squat, I'm going down, bottom of the leg parallel. I want a 90-degree angle over here, okay? So as long as you're maintaining 90-degree angles, you're taking the stress off of the joint and you're putting it on the muscles, okay? So there's 5 main exercises, okay? Everything else after that's gravy. 5 exercises. Your squat, that's the king of all exercises. Your deadlift, your bench press, okay? Your bent over rows. For those of you, your rows are same deal. Boom, those are your rows. That work your lat muscles, okay? Your rows and your shoulder presses, okay? 5 exercises. Squat, deadlift, bench, rows, shoulder presses, okay? When I was from the time I was 17 years old, 16 years old, I think, 16 years old, till the time I was about 37 years old, 4 sets of 5. 4 sets, 5 repetitions. The reason for the 4 sets of 5, because ideally you want to go as heavy as you want to go heavy in order to stress the muscles, okay? But if you're doing like 8 sets of 2, if you're doing like two rep sets, that's a lot of stress to do on a long-term basis. So with the 4 sets of 5, that's something that I found that I could do almost year-round, right? Where the reps were high enough that I'm really pushing the muscles, but I'm sorry, the reps are low enough, 5 reps, so I'm really pushing the muscles, but the sets are high enough and the reps are high enough at the same time where I'm not like overtaxing the muscles, okay? Now, if it was going to be like right before a competition or something, or I wanted to peak my strength, yeah, I would drop the reps down. So I would do, let's say, 8 reps of 2 or something like that, or do a peaking exercise, something like, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's a peaking exercise. But that's only something that you do for a couple of weeks before the competition, right? Whatever it is going to be, whether it's throw a shot put, because I used to throw a shot put when I was younger, or if you're going to power lift, right? Right before the competition, you want to do your peaking exercise. But the peaking exercises, you can only do for like a couple of weeks. If you overextend that, you burn out. Okay, so 4 sets of 5 was something that was like the reps were low enough to make me strong, but high enough that I could do it year round. That was the perfect balance. Now, once I started getting older, when I got over 38 years old, because when you get older, right, your tendons lose their elasticity. I then started doing 4 sets of 8. I did that for a number of years, and now that I'm 50 years old, I do lots of 4 sets of 10. Okay, so the 4 sets of 10 are that's what the old guys should be doing. The 50-year-old guys like me, that's the old guys, okay? The young guys should be doing the 4 sets of 5, okay? Now, let me say this. A lot of times, a lot of women think that they should be doing different exercises. A man and a woman's body are like 99% the same, okay? The same exercises that work for the man are going to work for the women, okay? Regardless of what her goal is, whether it's losing weight or whatever, these exercises, those are the main calorie burners, okay? So getting on a treadmill and walking for 2 hours, that does nothing, okay? Sitting on the abductor machine, doing that for an hour, that does nothing, okay? The big muscles, right? The big muscles are what burn the calories and also what make you strong. So 5 exercises: squat, deadlift, bench, rows, and your shoulder press. Now, I also do the supplemental exercises. The supplemental exercises are like your bar curls, your lying triceps, your lat pull downs, or in my case, pull-ups. You can do the leg curls. For the inside of the leg, but that's also something I do, right? Like I'll usually do with the 45s. I'll just grab this because I got this handy. To work the inside and the outside of the leg, what I'll do is I'll grab the 45-pound plate there and I'll do this. Because that's working the muscles on the inside of the leg, which is important. Because if you don't work this muscle as well in here, what's going to happen is, if at some point you get into a grappling match or something, and you stretch your legs in this position, that's when you tear something. Okay, so you got to also work these awkward angles. Okay, this is an important part of your ability to fight. You got to be able to stretch in weird directions like this, and these muscles here have to be able to handle that stress. Okay. So I also do, like I said, the supporting muscles, the biceps, the triceps, the lat pull downs, the calves. With those, I'll usually do 4 sets of 10, and I've always done pretty much 4 sets of 10 because those are the supporting muscles, okay? So that's it, guys, that's your workout. Now, as far as the frequency, like if you're just starting out, you can do those 5 exercises 3 days a week. You can do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's like for the first like 6 months, a year, until your body gets to a point where you can really start exerting yourself 100%. Once you get to the point where you're able to exert yourself 100%, for some people it might take 2 years, then what I'll do is I'll just do these main exercises once a week. So the way I used to do it is I used to do, let's say, like bench and rows, bench and back, chest and back on the Monday, squats and the supporting exercises on the Wednesday, and then shoulders, whatever I left out, I lost track. Shoulders and arms I would do on a Friday, but I would break it up like that, so I would only hit the muscle groups once a week, because again, there's a lot of crossover. Like when you're doing chest, you're also doing your triceps. When you're doing the rows, you're also doing your biceps. So the large compound exercises, right? The compound exercises are the multi-muscle exercises, like the squat, the deadlift, the bench, the rows, and the shoulder press. They use lots of muscle, so that's why once you get up to a point where you can actually push yourself 100%, you only need to do these exercises once a week. Okay, so I hope you guys found this information useful. Basically, I'm 50 years old now. I've been lifting the way you see me now. Just in the older days, I used to lift a lot more weight than this. I've been lifting since I was 16 years old. So I think, what's that, like 36, 37 years or something? I lost track. But I've been lifting a long time. And the reason I'm 50 years old and I look reasonably decent, I think, and am in reasonably good shape, is because of this stuff here. Okay, real exercises, a real workout, not the girly workouts, right? The real workout. That's what's going to keep you young. Okay, and it's and also this is part of my fighting, right? Whether I'm fighting, I used to teach boxing, whether it's boxing or sword fighting or gun fighting, anything that you do in life, you will do it a little bit better if you're a little bit stronger. And that includes playing table tennis or whatever. You'll be a little bit better at whatever you're doing if you're a little bit stronger. And you don't have to be as strong as me. You just got to be a little bit stronger than yourself, because ultimately you're competing against yourself. Okay, so you should always be trying to improve yourself. Okay, so that's the advice from a 50-year-old guy. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a member. Hello everyone. I just reviewed that video and I realized that the focus is going in and out, and I want to apologize for that. I'm not doing those squats all over again, so we're going to have to stay with that video. So I just got to learn to keep my feet planted in one position when I'm talking to you guys. But there's something I did want to add. One of the questions that a lot of times comes up, or I've heard come up over the years in the gyms, is training for size versus training for strength. Okay, by the way, I'm holding on to this so I can't move and go out of focus. So training for size versus training for strength. And the important thing for you guys to know is your size and strength are genetically predetermined. Okay, some guys are going to work out, they're going to do the same workout, same exercises, same intensity, and they're going to get stronger. Some guys and other people doing the exact same thing are going to get bigger. Okay, that's just just genetically predetermined. For example, women working out doing the same exercises that I do are not going to get big as me. They just don't have the genetics. Okay, some women have genetics to get a little bit big. Some women have genetics to get strong, but all that is genetically predetermined, right? And that includes, like, back in the day when people were in the gym taking steroids. Okay. It didn't matter how hard they worked out. It didn't matter how much roids they took. Okay? They were never going to become, champion powerlifters or champion bodybuilders, right? Because they just didn't have the genetics for it, right? The guys that you see at the highest levels of any sport, okay, have a genetic advantage. That is the first thing. The genetics have to be there. The reason why they're able to get to that level is because they've got the genetics for it. I'll give you another example. Some people are, just to give you an example, are speed readers, right? People that tend to be really good attorneys, for example, are really good at reading really fast. Like they can just, they'll look through a page, next page, Okay, that's not a learned thing, right? That's genetics. Their eyes and their brain are able to absorb that information really quickly. You can't train yourself to do that, right? I mean, you can train yourself to be good, but you're going to be at a much slower rate. So that's important. Let me put that out there. Don't think that if you train one way, you're going to get really strong versus if you train another way, you're going to get really big. The best way to train is just the best way to train, and your genetics, are going to just follow the course. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to do while I got you guys on the is I want to show you guys how I do my my lats, right? How do I do my pull-ups? Because I don't have a lat pull-down machine here because they're just big and bulky, and they'd be a pain in the ass to get into my office over here. This is my office at the range that you guys are looking at. So it'd be a real pain in the ass to get one in here. I really don't have the space for it. So the way I do my pull-ups is I use the squat bar over there, because doing lat pull-downs and doing pull-ups is the same exercise. You're working your lats. So what I will typically do, by the way, this is the second time I'm doing this video. I tried to do this video earlier. I was standing like right here, and all you saw was like the sun over my head. So obviously I'm not a professional photographer. All right, so you take the bar, put it to the top position. This is a very high squat rack, okay? So all you gotta do is just bend your knees, and you can bang out your pull-ups, right? You sit over there like that. Okay, so obviously when you're doing that, legs are bent, your hamstrings are in a very concentrated position. But what if you can't lift your entire body weight? All right, all you gotta do is roll the bar to that position there and pull up a bench. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my legs up on the bench there, and now I'm splitting the weight between my arms and my legs. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the same grip over here, put that there. And now I'm doing the same exercise, I'm just lifting half the weight. So basically this is weight assisted. So this is the equivalent of a lat pull down machine, right? The lat pull down machine, instead of doing your full body weight, you're able to select a weight that's less than your body weight. So by throwing your legs up on the bench over there, splitting the weight between half your weight going through your legs to the bench, the other half of your weight going up into your arms. That's how you're able to do your assisted pull-ups or lat pull-downs if you don't have a lat pull-down machine. And also when your legs are up on the bench there, right, and because of the way that the pressure is being applied, you're actually getting a good concentration on the back of the leg. So that's also similar to doing like seated leg curls. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. Talk to you all soon.